you know, we understand what Rhode Island does, but you know, we gotta really focus on ourselves and being the best that we can, you know, this week and continue to get better, and that's what we'll work on this week.
Randy, if confidence is a big part of the execution, how confident do you think the team is this morning, today?
You know, I thought we had a good practice this morning. I thought that, you know, confidence comes from just doing things over and over again and doing them successful. You know, and the more you know what you're doing, and then you can do it faster in this game, the better you are. And then also knowing, you know, what you're going to see, that you can't be thinking, you know, when you go out there. And again, to me, what you do is you make your own confidence. You know, you make your own confidence by, you know, getting stronger, getting bigger, being more prepared, understanding what the team is doing, being good at fundamentals and techniques. So again, you know, that's just something, especially with the youth that we have in a lot of positions, you know, that confidence is just going to come each day as they go out there and work to perfect all those things. You know, when you go out there each day and you can play faster and you do a little bit more from an execution, your fundamentals and techniques, and you're making plays, and you know, that confidence, you know, comes with time. You know, and that's the, you know, and then plus you have to have confidence regardless. I mean, yeah, you got to know, hey, yeah, I'm going to maybe make a mistake, but I'm going to go 100 miles an hour and be physical and make things happen. And so again, that's the biggest thing for a lot of these guys, is just cut it loose and let it go.
What has Jeremy shown you that he moved up on cornerback, and would he have maybe played even sooner if he was healthy from the start?
Yeah, he was somebody that we liked when we got here to camp, and again, once he got healthy and we saw him out there practicing, you know, he could do things. He's very smart, intelligent, understands things. So again, you know, he's another kid that in the real world he probably wouldn't be playing, but we're not in the real world this year. So
would O'Neal Robinson be the guy to fill in for Omar, and if so, who would back him up?
O'Neal would be the guy backed up by Jelon Farrell.
Moving Darian Beavers to defensive end, what do you like about his skill set that makes him a piece that you can put there?
Well, you know, again, we're a work in progress. So as a head coach, you know, what I'm trying to always do is, with what we have, is figure out where guys can fit the best and try to control what I can control and what we can control. And when I just look at Darian and watch him play at linebacker, not that I don't think that he could be, you know, a good linebacker. I just think he could be a better defensive end, and especially in the scheme that we're playing now in terms of the 4-3. And again, so you take him and you put him at defensive end, so now he's always practicing there every day instead of maybe going there to do some things from a pass rush standpoint. He's there working it every day, and I think he'll end up making us that much better. And then when you take a look what Eddie did in the game, Eddie's smart. Eddie's a guy that will help take some of the things off of KK's plate by going in there inside. I just felt that that's the best thing for our team and for those guys in terms of the positions where they can probably excel the most. You know, so you know, Darian, he'll get up to speed as much as he can this week, and then just stay there. But I think in the long run, that makes it better for us. And then also Eddie going in there as a start will help us as well from a communication standpoint.
Eddie was in there second half, and Darian was at the end, and Jeremy was at corner. Did you see encouraging signs from how they played out there, getting those snaps on Saturday night?
Yeah, I mean, that's why I made the decision.
What particularly did you see from them? What do you want to see
Did
them
his job
moving forward?
and executed the things he was doing.
What has made Luke better this year, or was he even ready to do this last year? You don't want him to punt, 7, 8, 9 times a game, but are you confident that, he can do everything now?
Who's that?
Luke Maglio?
Yeah. Well, Luke's a great story, a great testament to hard work. That's the reason he is what he is because of how hard he's worked. There's nobody. I sit up there in my office and I have a view into the indoor facility. There's nobody that put in the time and effort that he did. So it's not surprising to me to see him have, the success that he's had so far. Plus, he's a little bit older, a little bit more mature, more mature than a lot of those other guys. He's a plumber and he's working for a living. So, the guy appreciates the opportunity that he has, and you know what? And he's got a lot of pride. He's got a lot of pride in himself, and he wants to be good. And if you want to be good, you got to work at it, and that's what he did. So, there's every guy on our team should go and talk to Luke about what it takes, to be good. And then he had this shoulder surgery, and we got that cleaned up for him. But even so, he was trying to fight to get back out there, quicker than what a lot of people would have from that standpoint. But to me, he's a great role model for those guys. And sometimes you talk to him, he'll tell it like it is now. And like some of these guys, he'd tell them they might not like what he had to say, would say to them, because of what he's been through and what he's done to get here. Some of those guys have had it a whole lot easier and shouldn't complain about things. Just go out and work if you want to, be good. So.
Jeremy is a 4.0 student at Chilton. He has a lot of things going on. And so how impressive of a person is it bringing in a freshman who's already got a mechanical engineering major going as a true freshman? How impressed are you by him off the field?
Who, Jeremy?
Yeah.
Yeah, Jeremy's, good, great kid, comes from a great family. He's in the honors program here in engineering. Could be living in the honors dorm and all those things, but, he's living with, the guys. He's just got, he's got his priorities straight and challenges himself in every aspect of his life, academically, athletically, and he's a great kid. So, he's got it all together. You tell him at one time and he's got it. He's not out there texting and social media a bunch. If it is, it's back and forth with somebody about formulas, and things along those lines. So, which is way over my head. So, but no, he's just a very steady, even going, driven young man.
What improvements would you like to see in your offense?
Score more points. We just got to continue to execute, and again, Boise State had a lot to do with why we didn't execute. We were outmatched. We were overmatched.
Coach, defensively, these first 2 games, you've done a lot of big plays. Is that something you're kind of trying to emphasize to kind of get control of that and make teams work their way downfield?
No, we just want to let them continue to do it. That's fun when they do that. Again, a lot of it is because somebody misses a gap, somebody puts their eyes in the wrong position. But if you don't think we're working on that every day, you're crazy. And it's something we've had an issue with. Here, and some of that has to do with eye discipline. Some of it has to do with guys not executing their assignment. Some of it has to do with physical capabilities. And it's just something that we have to continue to work on. We try to put our guys in the best position, and they have to work to play the best technique. And do the things they need to do so we can prevent those things.
The follow-up to that, Randy, is based, after 2 games, have you had to adjust what you think is possible or reasonable for your team to achieve?
Yeah, and again, the one thing is that you have, you play 2 top 20 teams, and those weren't good matchups for us. Got a text from my good buddy George O'Leary yesterday, and he told me, speed and experience isn't a good matchup. Lack of those things, lack of speed, lack of experience aren't good matchups against the 2 teams we just played. But as he said, keep the faith and the wins will come. And, that's what we're doing. And again, it's just something we got to continue to work through. And the only way you do that is by coming out here every day and working and getting better. And you take these young kids and, you keep working with them, you keep helping them to improve, you keep teaching them. And, sometimes there's going to be a little bit of frustration. But you hope that, each week it gets less and less.
Have you seen any of the freshmen step up, Randy, into leadership roles?
Yeah, you saw, one thing is you saw guys competing. You put on the film and the score is what it is, but, you look at effort, there was effort there the whole way for 60 minutes. The problem is this, and our program was here when I was here in 2010, just like Boise State's. Theirs stayed there. This one went here. And this is a massive rebuild. It's a massive rebuild, man. Everybody's out there wondering, you see those first 2 games? Like I said, take a look what's happened. It's not rocket science.
Randy, is it a bigger rebuild now than it was when you got here in '98?
Yeah, because the schedule's a lot harder. We had a plan back then in terms of what we wanted to do. And when you look at what took place back then, we were going to go into the Big East in so many years, and we scheduled that way. So by the time we got there, we don't have that luxury right now. Okay? We don't have that luxury. And that's the thing. Boise, take a look at Boise State. They've lost coaches, and what they do, they promoted from within, and they've kept the same system all the way through. When Dan Hawkins left, Chris Peterson, same thing. They hired a guy from within because those guys knew what it took to be successful in it, and they kept it going. That didn't happen here. And so that's what we're working through, right now.
Looking ahead to Saturday, obviously this program hasn't always played its best against FCS teams in the past. Are you confident that there will be the appropriate urgency heading into Saturday's game?
Yeah, we talked about that this morning in our team meeting. And again, it's about us. You got to have that desire and that want to be better each and every day. That's the attitude you have to take. When I was here before, we didn't have an issue with FCS teams. And nothing against the FCS teams, I'm not saying that. But if you go back and take a look, we didn't have those issues. And that's the thing I got to do with these young men, is get them to understand that every day you wake up, you want to dominate that day in everything that you do. And some of these guys are hearing that for the first time in their lives. And trust me, we're doing everything we can. But if somebody thinks we're going to take some fairy dust and come in and just sprinkle it, and all of a sudden it's going to change, you might as well go and keep drinking alcohol or something, because this isn't easy. It's not easy, but it's fun. And it's fun because these kids want to do it. They want to do it. And they're out there trying to do it. And like I said, most of them shouldn't even be playing. When you only have 2 really redshirt seniors of your scholarship people, that's telling you something. It's telling you something. And so, I'm not going to let the outside people or anything like that affect what goes on inside of here. My job is to protect these young men and work with these young men to disregard all extraneous stimuli and just focus on being a team and just working. And nobody knows on the outside what they go through and what they have to do to get to where we got to get to. You know, and I like that. I like having that opportunity. I like having that challenge.
Any other questions?
The move to a 4-3 scheme, was that plans heading into training camp, or was that out of necessity after what you saw in training
What's
camp?
that?
The move to a 4-3 scheme defensively? Was
I
that
just felt that when I took a look at our personnel, now that we had with the young men that we brought in, you know, Luau, Jonathan, you know, Pierce, when I saw those guys and saw what we had, I said, you know, hey, you know, this is the direction that I think we have to go to be able to have the most success moving forward. You know, and then again, you take a guy like Darian Beavers and put him in there, because you know what? If you don't ever, I just have this philosophy, maybe it's my philosophy, might not be every head coach's philosophy, but if you don't win the line of scrimmage on both sides of the ball, you got no chance. You got no chance. So now if I got Darian in there, which I think is a better position for him, you see those youth in there that we have, we got a chance to be pretty good up front on defense, with time. With time. Offensively, we're doing the same thing. Doing the same thing. And if you can't, you know, you can have all those pretty boys that you want, you know, out there running the ball, catching the ball, but, you know, look at your successful teams just because of what they have, you know, up front. You know, and that's what, you know, can I go out? I can't go out and get 50 guys a year. Can't do it. So all I'm trying to do is control what we can control and make ourselves, to put ourselves in a position to continue to get better this year and continue to grow and even be better next year, the year after, and so forth and so on. Not hard. You know, not hard. But just gotta, you know, I'm the guy that has to have the most patience of anybody.
Is that hard?
Some days it is, you know. And then I gotta look at myself in the mirror and say, remember where we're at, what we're doing. I had a good friend of mine that was out in Boise with me, and you know, hit me up after the game. He was flying back to where he's from and everything else, and you know, well, that's one of the things he told me. And, you know, I have more patience now than what I used to. You know, but I'm not. You know, I see that we're on the right track and we're doing the right thing. And I know it's not going to be maybe as quick as what maybe some people like, but you know, if you're going to do it, you're going to do it the right way. And then when you have it going, then you can turn it over to somebody else. You can't cut corners. You can't take the shortcuts. You can't do it. Can't do it. It's just a shame of what has happened from 2011 to 2017. Can't get it back. You know, can't get it back. But it's a great lesson when you don't do the right things, how quickly it can go. You saw how you had to, what the time it took to get it there, but if you don't do the things you're supposed to, it goes down, and now it's going to take a little bit longer to get back where you want to be. And that's the reality of it in this sport. In this sport. So, all right? Have a good one.
Thanks.